Yeah. Hoy nomás. Puro classic mas. I must have been in 8th grade or something. Por ahí. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of hashtag PVT Tuesday Night Live, brought to you by this guy right here, the law office of Rene Flores.
Thank you, Rock. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no, man. Thanks for having our back, man. And we appreciate everything you do for the show. You've had our back since we started this little project.
Absolutely.
And we're still going at it, and we're growing, and we're having a good time doing it. We're even traveling, man. We went to San Antonio, man. Yeah.
I checked that out, and again, I'm happy to be a part of the show. I'm impressed with what y'all are doing here. I'm the dedication that you and the girls have here. It really looks like a great show, and I read the comments of all the people that follow you, and it seems like they really enjoy it. And so I'm glad that you're putting this show for the people to listen to, man. Great music, get people in the mood. So I heard you on earlier, Teta Tuesday. So
it's at the Teta Tuesday, papá, sústame. Yeah. So now that you mentioned the girls, well, let's say hi to the girls, Rally and Felicia. How you girls doing, huh?
Hi, everyone. We're doing well. Thank you. Staying busy as always.
We were in San Antonio this past weekend, and but before we talk about that and let you all know about our story, we want you to like, subscribe, and share the video, because this is what helps us out a lot. It gets the word out. We've been growing in numbers. Our subscribers have been growing like 200 a week. Because more and more people are finding out about the show and everything we do on this show. We don't just do one thing. We do a lot of different things, and we're trying to create some sort of network where we can have different programming for all the people. It includes Tejano music, classic stuff, interviews. We can also do all kinds of other fun things. And then the mixes that I do as well, that I'm starting to do again as well, that I got very popular doing on the radio. So the best thing you all can do is copy the link and share it on your social media and tell all your friends to subscribe, check out the show. And that just does wonders for us, because sometimes, YouTube's a little tough to, they get a little
crack.
bit. Yeah, yeah. They don't help you get bigger, or get to more people. So you all are the ones that make the difference. Okay. Also join our Patreon club. A $25 pledge gets you a special hashtag PVT t-shirt and sticker. And if you have and you'll also have a chance of winning. As a matter of fact, before the end of the show, remind me, girls, we're going to let Rene pull out a name of one of our Patreon users here, our Patreon members, and we'll be giving them a prize, and we mail it to them.
Hey, Rock.
Right to their house.
You think I can get one of those shirts?
Yeah, man, for sure. We'll hook you up.
I appreciate it.
You're an honorary member, Dad.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we also have the Cash App. If you want to send us a donation or anything just to help us out, it's $sign Rock and Roll James, and Venmo at Rock and Roll James. Okay, you can send us a few bucks there if you want, just to help us out. We appreciate it, and we put it to good use. We were in San Antonio this week, right, girls? Did you all enjoy that trip over there?
Yeah, it was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it.
It was a really quick trip, but it was really fun.
As a matter of fact, we were already loading up 2 episodes. We got 2 episodes up of the show. It was David Lee Garza and a guy named Gibby Velasquez, who Gibby Velasquez, dude, he's like an amazing record producer, and he's recorded a lot of great albums for a lot of great Tejano artists. In the 90s, he was huge. How many Grammys did that guy have in that case?
I think I must have counted at least 13. And then we went into all these other little rooms that he has there, and we saw some in a those little plexiglass looking things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been more than 13.
Dude,
that was a lot. Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, there were nonstop Grammys in that studio, and the girls were really excited, because I had seen some before and I'd held some because I hang out with some artists and stuff. But they were really like, wow, a Grammy, a real life Grammy,
That's yeah, awesome. I had to ask him, can I please hold one? And I told Fish, please take a picture of me holding the Grammy. It was really, really heavy. So
yeah, I had never seen a Grammy in real life. So
yeah,
cool.
They're awesome. Super nice.
Yeah, awesome. It's interesting because that goes to the best of the best in the music industry, bro.
San Antonio is one of these, hubs for Tejano, for Hispanics, for a lot of history has come out of San Antonio. So that you tell me that doesn't surprise me. Some of the comments that I'm reading, a majority of your fan base, are hollering at you from San Antonio. So, and San Antonio's a valley on steroids.
You know, bro, ladies and gentlemen, I really advise you and recommend that you scroll back once we're done with the show tonight and check out the first 2 episodes of the interview with David Lee Garza and with Gibby Velasquez. David Lee Garza empezaron en el rancho ahí en Poteet, bro. I mean, his dad was a bajo player. And I asked him, is that all your parents, did your dad just make money off music? Is that what he did? And he goes, oh, no, man. He worked with the county from 8 to 5. And then he'd come home, have dinner, and then he'd go to the areneras, which is like where they do sand pits, and would work from 6 to 10. And then when he'd get home at 10, David was there with the accordion wanting to learn. And he was like, Chihuahua, mijo, I'm tired, pero como quiera se acaba el bajo. Y ahí said, and I put up some pictures that David shared with me, black and white, man. And it was just, let me move the table back a little bit.
You got it.
You want to move the chair back a little bit? The producers are saying to move it back a little bit. So, all right. Can we do it there? Is that good? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. That's why we got producers, ladies and gentlemen. So they can tell us what we need to do, because we're here talking about what's been going on. So, yeah, man, I mean, the work ethic that generation had, David Lee it was 1967. He was 11 years old, and he was already learning how to play, the accordion. And the father taught him how to, do one of the polkas. And he said, esta nomás te la voy a enseñar, and that's it. And he learned it.
Yeah.
And then from there on, man, the rest is history. Then his little brother, they put him in drums, and then the other little brother that was a twin with a twin sister, they put him on bass, and the father was on bajo, and they had a band, man.
That's awesome.
And they were out it was a family thing, going in on weekends, and it got to the point where David Lee was a platform for so many great singers, right? Ram Herrera, Jay Perez, Marcos Orozco, Emilio Navaira. And he ended up being the platform for many of those artists to go on and create their own personal careers.
And when you talk about platform, you're talking about like he brought him up, he helped bring him up?
They start with him, and then they went on their own.
Okay.
So, I mean, and then they went on their own and became spectacular stars. So he has a lot to do with the Tejano industry, and he won a lot of awards as well. But, man, one of the most humble guys you could ever meet, right, girls?
Super, super humble.
I mean, man, la sangre bien livianita. And
yes, he's so chill.
Yeah, dude, David Lee Garza, man. And now Gibby, ese sí parece que es una pistolita, bro,
He's real spunky. I like him.
Yeah,
he's
real spunky, but you have to be like that when you're a producer in a studio.
Sure.
Because you need to, hey, look, this is what we got to do, and this is what we're going to do, and that's why it's going to sound that good, because this stuff is coming out of my studio.
Sure.
So it's got to sound professional. And he's one of the best in the business, man. All the Grammys he's got show just how great he is,
And that's why I like the show, because but for you, I would not have known the history, but for you, I would not have been able to discover all that. So again, with this show, you're giving an insight to a world that we wouldn't otherwise know. And so, this is why people like the show. This is why people respond to it, because you're telling the stories of bands, of musicians that we've all listened to, we've all grown up, and so, I thank you for that.
They're humble beginnings, man, and I freaked out because Gibby was in a band called the Royal Jesters, and there were like 12 guys in the band and in vans, and I said, and all of you were in a van? He goes, well, no, we had like 3 guys that would go on the equipment truck, and we'd give them a little more money because they would be the setup guys, but we were all in the van just traveling from Florida to California, man.
Beautiful. I'm sure they had great times.
Yeah,
great stories.
That's all they said. They said, man, we had adventures. It was great. You all need to get on it. I'm on the 2nd episode. I'll be putting up the 3rd episode tomorrow. But you got to check it out. It's an amazing interview with 2 of the great legends in the Tejano industry in San Antonio, in an atmosphere that's just totally professional and Grammy award winning, right? All right. So do we have any people on the...
Yes, we do. We have... Ooh, I'm a little loud. We have Raymond Rose. He says, you guys just start. So, hey,
Yeah.
Raymond Rose from Canada.
Hello.
We have saludos desde Denver.
Órale.
Hello from Mercedes, Texas.
Mercy Town.
Chris V says he didn't get a notification, but he's listening to us right now. So
Is he
thank
the
you.
one that always says he never gets a notification?
No, it's somebody else. It's
Oh, okay.
Mad TE, MADTE.
Oh, okay,
So
alright.
yeah, we need to
Well,
figure
that's
that out.
exactly what I was mentioning about YouTube. You know, sometimes they don't notify our people.
I know
So
that's true.
when you all find out that we're on, you notify everybody else by sharing it on your social media. It helps us a lot.
Yes, and we also have Alfredo Rios from Conroe, Texas, in the house.
Have you
So-
ever been to Lake Conroe?
Primero que es-
North of Houston?
I can't say that I have.
No. Damn padre,
I've been
man.
to like the Marble Falls, that area. You know, I don't think I've gone.
Where's the
gone out there.
greatest place you've ever gone on vacation, bro? Or have you really gone?
California?
California?
You know, I like the weather. I love, you know, the vibe that happens out.
¿Qué
out
parte
there.
de California fuiste? Dad?
We went to San Diego.
Okay.
We were all up and down Laguna Beach. We were in San Francisco for a couple of days. So we spent just a whole couple
Hollywood
of days.
Boulevard, and did you do all that too?
We did all that.
Walt Disney? With that Walt
Um,
Disney?
We did Anaheim. We caught an Angels game
Uh-huh.
while we were out there.
Those are
It
awesome.
was beautiful, dude. So
Yeah.
I love the weather. You know, I think I gravitate toward that type of
Yeah.
environment, warm, sunny beach. You know, I've had some great. You know, I had a great honeymoon in Mexico. You know,
¿Dónde mero?
I
Y
you're
que no se
catching
te olvide, bro.
Playa del Carmen.
Oh, I was like, oh my
Playa
God.
del Carmen.
Ooh,
Órale.
Playa del Carmen.
nice. Did y'all go like a cruise? Was it like one of those cruise type of things?
So we didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on a wedding, feeding everybody, right? So we said, look, we're gonna invite our closest friends.
Smart.
Right, and I'm not even
Órale.
paying for theirs, but the closest friends we took about 10 couples maybe out there. We did the all inclusive just because it was easy to kind of tend to our guests.
Yeah.
We would make our excursions to town, and we loved that part of it, right? The being locked up in the hotel, you know, that got boring after a little while. But once we got into the streets, started eating, you know, street food, you know, hanging out
Taquitos
there,
and all that.
it was a different story. We went back on our year anniversary, and we stayed in town that time and enjoyed, you know, both trips.
Playa del Carmen, is that over there close to Cancun or
South
what?
of Cancun. It's about an hour south of Cancun.
Yeah. Man, we've never taken any trips, girls. I mean, we need to do some. I know Felicia says her dream is to go to Walt Disney, right?
Oh yeah, I want
Maybe
to go
we
to
can
Disney
go.
World.
Maybe we can go and check
Disney
it
World
out.
or Disneyland, whichever one.
Yeah, well, you better get ready to walk, right? Because I hear, you know, you got to walk a lot, and it takes a few days to check out the place and stuff.
It does. You know, when we went to Disney World, I was like, look, let's get the 3-day. My wife was like, look, let's go one day. Let's see how you like it, and then we'll take it. We went one day. I didn't want to go back the second day. So she was right. I'm glad I didn't do the 3 days.
I'm like, that's probably me, dude. No, go ahead. Y me mandan pictures en el texto o algo, ¿verdad?
No,
But yeah, man, I don't know about that because I know when we stay at the island, dude, we like to stay in the room. I slept the last time we went to the island. I slept like from the time. And the thing about it, bro, is that we get to the island, right, and it's just me and my wife, and it's Thursday night, and the elevator doesn't work, dude.
And we're in the 3rd floor.
And I had to carry everything up. And it's like not an indoor thing. It's through the outdoor. So I ended up carrying everything. I made I don't know how many trips up and then Felicia shows up on Friday. And I said, the elevator doesn't work. And you know what? We didn't even check if it worked or not.
I know.
But she ended up
You
carrying
guys didn't check?
No, we didn't.
Oh my goodness.
I know we should have, but I was already ready to. I was already saying, well, I'm just gonna leave my stuff in the car, and I'll just be coming down and getting my stuff little by little. But yeah, no.
Hey, and you and then she ended up taking something up, and I helped her out with the other stuff. And when she gets to the 3rd floor, she goes, "Oh, thank God the door is there," because the door is right there where the stairs
Yeah,
ended.
As soon as you got off the stairs, the door was right
And she
there.
goes, "Dude, you should have told me. I would have left everything in the car." She was dying, man. And I told her I had to make like 5 trips with cases of water.
And food and
So then I was
luggage
good
and-
that weekend, right? I was good that weekend, and then I get back on Tuesday, right? Y de repente me comienza a doler from the rodilla to the groin, dude. Like inner thigh.
Con el alpha fin.
And I was like, I was like, a la mejor son las arteries, carnal. You know, at our age, we start thinking the worst, dude.
Horrible.
And I was like, arteries. So I went to the masseuse, and she says, oh, that's your groin. I'm like, the groin goes from the knee all the way to the freaking stomach? She goes, yeah. So I laid down, and she, like, started putting that elbow and the thumb into the groin and put that. I'm like,
I'm sure that's not healthy.
Dude, the next day, bro, it was gone.
She was on some Miyagi stuff.
I was like, man, but
it was going up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
The 1, 2, 3, like the 6 flights of stairs.
My groin was like, what the hell's going on here? Shit. What's going on? Oh, I'm not gonna hurt you now, but wait a while, man. I want to hurt you, dude. You're kicking my ass. So yeah, but no, it's always good to do some summer. Are you going anywhere for summer?
You know, I've gone to the beach. You know, I've touched the beach and I've stayed there. My oldest son's birthday. I know the last time I was talking about my younger son.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest son's birthday. He just turned 5. So a friend of mine let us stay at his spot, and we stayed about 3 days there.
Mm-hmm.
But just beach and hotel. You know, I'm still not going out to dinners. I'm still not doing anything. We were cooking for ourselves. So, you know, it's a birthday, but we modified. You know, it's tough. You know, when you're trying to stay quarantined, when you're trying to stay healthy for your family, you know, and then you got an event like your birthday, then it becomes difficult to balance out. Hey, do I invite cousins? Do I invite cousins, aunts, and uncles, and things like that? How big are we taking this? So, it was a very
small, intimate
gathering with family and sisters and things like that. So, so we've done that. But the beach, other than the beach and back, I haven't moved around too much, unfortunately, man. I know I'm dying to get to Vegas. I'm dying to go.
I know.
Dude,
so
I mean, I don't know about this coronavirus, this COVID. It's like, I don't know what to believe anymore, bro.
I'm the same way.
I mean, we've been all over San Antonio and, you know, knock on wood, we're fine. I mean, we haven't had any issues, any problems. And then I hear from some people that are, you know, on social media that I know work at the hospital or have something to do with the hospital. And they're like, one of them put it today, hey, the virus has lost its strength. And everybody that's coming to the hospital, we're sending them home. They ain't got nothing. They're positive, but they ain't got nothing. They send them home and they never come back. And then you've got these people, one death is too many and this and that. And well, how can you beat that? You know what I mean? You can't argue with that. You know what I mean? So, but
you know, my situation is, you know, I'm like on the fence. We're like, well, I don't know what the outcome is, right? I look at the death ratio and stuff like that, but I'm a 2-time kidney transplant recipient. So I take immunosuppressant medicines, and so I'm already at risk as it is. So I've got to, that factors into my thought processes about, you know, how brave I am, you know, how much I expose myself. So I'm still very hesitant in how I move around. You know, most of the time my wife goes to the store and comes back. But I'm torn, you know, because I want to get things going. I want to get my office going. I want to get.
You think they're going to close
cases.
Everything up again, man?
I feel it. I know Mission. I think Mission just went into a curfew starting Wednesday. They'll start.
I
back
know,
into
but
a curfew.
how does the curfew?
We just went into a curfew. The mayor, he decided. Well, I guess they were talking about how it's not just the mayor. It's, I guess, the whole county. I don't know, but they're putting us into a curfew. I think tonight it starts, and it's midnight.
Yeah, but who's around at midnight at 6? I mean, I guess it's just the bar hoppers, right? Or the club guys and girls? I mean, because, I mean, it's like the other day when I was talking about Walmart that it was closed at 10 or 8. I'm like, they're condensing the hours to where the more people have to go at the same time instead of staying open 24 hours. Where after 10 o'clock, you know, I'd rather go after 10 when there's hardly anybody, and you know, I know, but when you condense the schedule, I mean, more people have to go within that time slot. So then it makes more people. And now they're talking about HEB having some people that came out positive, and then there's some students from a high school, and
Delia's Tamales.
So it's coming out. It's coming around, but we'll see how it pans out as far as hospitalizations and deaths. You know, I know that Texas has about 1,800 deaths, and we have 29 million people in Texas. Will that rise to an unpredictable level, like on a crazy, unfathomable level? I don't know. But as far as, and I also see that there's there was like 90,000 cases, and then there was like 48,000 that had recovered. Another thing that I freak out is that these people that are coming out of the hospital that were hospitalized, what did they give them? I mean, have you heard anything on that?
Not at all.
What kind of medication are they giving these people that are in the hospital?
They don't disclose that information.
Are they giving them Vicks? Are they giving them,
I don't know.
Desenfrioles, or what is it? I mean, are they giving them
Robitussin?
CPAC?
Mm-hmm.
Are they giving them hydrochloroquine? Are they giving them that? What is it that they're giving them? I mean, whatever they're giving them is helping them get the hell out of the hospital.
Yeah, I think last time I told you, I knew one person, and he and she, or two people, they recovered. Again, I realize, I hear that I'm still not of the position where I'm going to say, well, fuck it.
So the people that that recovered, did they have to be hospitalized?
No.
Did they get any symptoms at all?
I don't. I think it was a fever, slight cough.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. No hospitalization. No need for medication.
So there wasn't really a big recovery process.
Correct.
It was like it didn't even hit him. So, I guess everybody's different. I know we had some deaths just recently. 2 80-year-old
An 80 and a
individuals
40
and a 40-year-old. But the 40-year-old may have had some, I don't know. I mean, underlying conditions.
Someone on the comment section commented something real interesting. BZ says, people think others are being overly cautious, but it makes you think you don't really know people that well. Maybe they have underlying issues you don't know about. So it's true. It's true. It's not that maybe they are being overly cautious, but rightfully so, because they have their immune system's compromised in some way. So
yeah. All right. Any other comments there on what we're talking about?
Yeah, curfew. When I was in my teens, my curfew was the chancla.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Pues yo tengo curfew de 10 años. Yo creo tengo que estar en la caja palastero, me pegan, Dad. You know what I'm saying? Me dan una regañada. Asústame one time. Shelter in place all the time, bro. So, all right. Well, that was a cool little beginning to the show, talking about what's going on with COVID. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Rally's headline. Yeah.
My headline. Woo.
All right.
My headline is Rayshard Brooks' family super pissed about phony GoFundMe account, but on the other hand, they're okay with Wendy's burning down. So
Rayshard Brooks is the guy that was killed
yes.
this past weekend, right? And where is it, Georgia?
Yeah, Atlanta. Yes.
Yeah, Atlanta,
yes.
Georgia. Yeah.
So he was the man that was killed in Atlanta this past weekend. Rayshard Brooks' family members say fake GoFundMe pages, soliciting donations on their behalf has sprung up all over the crowdsourcing site, and they want them all to go away immediately. So one of his cousins, Rayshard's cousins, tells TMZ he and other relatives have spotted a ton of fraudulent pages in recent days for Rayshard's family. He says it's frustrating for the real family because they've only approved one true GoFundMe account page. So.
That stuff is tricky. You don't know what to believe on social media. GoFundMe is like one of those things. You see hoax and people just run with it. I mean, I've seen Chuck Norris dies, and then I have to look it up because I don't, and I look it up and then it says Chuck Norris death hoax. And so then I have to tell the person that's sharing it, dude, it's a hoax. Yeah. So there's people that are just like sharing stuff. They don't even research it. They don't even pay it,
They're playing on people's emotions, right? It's an emotional thing. It's hot. It's a hot topic right now. And so, it's going to happen. Anytime that there's an opportunity in an area to exploit, you'll have those individuals that are ready to exploit it. And, it just.
What do you think about that situation that happened? Because, man, they showed the body cam of the cop. They showed, the dude was very violently resistant with those two policemen. And from what I was watching, the policemen were being cordial. They were being very cool about it.
I haven't seen the full video, so I'm not prepared to comment on it. I have heard stories that there was efforts to try to restrain, efforts to try to calm him. That it wasn't until he was reaching for a taser, which could have easily been a gun, and shot. It's when they take an action, and so, you're in that situation,
and then they burned the Wendy's down.
Yeah, and so I was just about to mention that, so it says as far as Wendy's is concerned, getting burned down to the ground. So his cousin, Rayshard's cousin, says he doesn't condone it, but admits that it felt liberating for him when he saw the video, and he described it as a release, almost like the start of a healing. But I mean, that's
well, I guess I guess if you have a family member that was killed in that area and then that happens to it, I mean, you would feel the same. But I mean, I would imagine the majority of the United States of America saw that and said, man, that's
he's
terrible.
not helping. I don't think it helps the cause. I really don't think it helps his cause, his memory. I think the people that go out and peacefully protest and are out there in the streets doing it peacefully without causing destruction, I think, they have a stronger voice. But, you have these situations where they're breaking into buildings, burning down. These are people where they have to come back and live in these neighborhoods. These are things where they would go out to this Wendy's and frequent. And so now it's gone.
And they're getting away with it, right? I mean,
it seems like it. It really does seem like they are.
I mean, they'd been catching some people, though. I think that the power of social media. Even I think I remember back when Rodney King's and the riots were happening with Rodney King's, they were able to identify the individuals that pulled a gentleman out of the trailer. They were able to, and numerous other people.
And the helicopter caught all that.
Yeah, so they were able to identify people. And so,
what were you thinking, dude, when all that chaos was going on? And every city they were just like destroying stuff.
I think it's very shocking to me. I can't imagine what that would do to this environment. What would happen in my? I'd be very saddened that people would resort to destroying their own city, destroying their own homes.
What's the age demo? Do you think of the crowd doing that? I mean, I don't think there's 45 or 50-year-old dudes in there, except for that 75-year-old man that was getting involved in Buffalo. They got pushed by the cops as well and fell on his head. But the majority of they're youngsters, no, in their 20s.
If I had to, if I had to say, like, based on what I've seen on social media, I would say that it's a younger demographic that is out there. But I'm not willing to say, oh well, it's just Hispanics or it's just African American or Black. I'm not prepared to say that because I mean, it's not convenient for us to identify. It's all in our personal choices, right? The individual has to make a choice to go and put themselves in that situation. And so I'm
what about the dude that pulled out the chainsaw downtown McAllen, bro?
Oh my
dear.
He made McAllen trend on Twitter, and he made
chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I mean, the dude. But man, it's just people are just already annoyed with what's going on, dude.
I think it's so infiltrated in our system now. We've seen it on news. We're seeing it on social media. And a gentleman, like that maybe felt frustrated. Maybe I can stop this right here and right now, not in the valley. That kind of mentality. I think that was what he was trying to do. I don't think he accomplished.
And there was some dude that was videotaping him with the phone, and I saw it on social media, and he's like taping him, and the guy's like talking with him, and then they start arguing with him, and then that's when he goes for the chainsaw, and that's when everybody was like, a la madre, because they were being rebellious with him. So then he comes out, and then they all spread apart, and then the cops come and they pull the guy to the side of the building, and they're talking to him, and then the guy that's with the phone, he points it at the protesters or whatever, and they were like saying something to him, and he goes, "You all don't." And so the guy filming it was on the chainsaw guy's side, and against the protester, and it was very interesting. But it really splits people up. I mean, it splits people up. Now, what kind of I don't know what kind of charges they gave this guy. I think it was like assault.
Aggravated assault with like a deadly weapon.
Did you get wind of that?
I had seen him on the Busted newspaper. Facebook.
On Facebook,
I briefly checked out his information, and I think he had like a $3,000. It was either $3,000 or $30,000 bond. I don't know, but I know they got him with I think it was counts. Assault with a deadly weapon or something.
You think he'll do time, man?
No. I mean, I think that there'd been some victims, that'd been,
He wasn't gonna use the
I
chainsaw.
don't know what his criminal history looks like, right? That they, that factors into kind of what.
Well, the thing about it is he had a truck with a magnet on it. He
It
had
was
some
a decal.
Yeah, but what was
like
the
a
business?
decal.
It was some business. So this number was right there. His whole
Yeah.
business, everything was there. So I think he just got a little frustrated and just wanted to scare them. But I don't think he would have
He
used
didn't
the
need the
chainsaw.
chainsaw, to be honest.
Well, it added a pretty scary effect to it. It scared those protesters.
Yeah,
But so you don't think he'll do any time? Probably get some probation or what, man?
Again, if I assuming he has no criminal history, I don't believe he'd be doing jail time.
Okay, all right. Well, that's coming from a defense attorney, ladies and gentlemen, the best one around here,
Awesome.
Mr. Rene Flores.
Thank you, brother.
All right. So once again, I want to thank him. He's our sponsor, the Law Office of Rene Flores. If you ever need anything, having any legal problems, hashtag DWI expert. He's on social media. He's on Instagram at the DWI guy and then DWI expert on social media on Instagram. And then you can find him at Law Office of Rene A. Guerra on Facebook. And then
It's okay. You change the Guerra. I'm Flores.
Guerra, did I say Rene? What?
I district attorney for years.
Oh,
Rene Guerra, so-
sorry about that, man. No,
Oh, my
the thing is he'll go to war for you.
That's
All right, that's what I'm trying to say here, eh? I saved it, Rene Flores. There we
Ay,
go.
Dios.
That is my man. Where am I? So anyway, make sure to go to social media, the Law Offices of Rene A. Flores, and he'll be able to help you out with everything. As a matter of fact, we've got an awesome testimonial coming up in just a little bit here on the show. All right, and reminding you, join our Patreon club. $25 pledge gets you a T-shirt and stickers, and you have a chance at winning in our PVT weekly drawing, which Rene will be pulling a name out of the box in just a little bit. And we have the Cash App, $sign Rock and Roll James, and Venmo at Rock and Roll James. All right, so now it's time for Felicia's celebrity headline. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So mine, as always, is a little interesting.
I love yours.
So you all are familiar with Elon Musk, right?
He's the guy from SpaceX, right?
Yeah, Tesla.
Tesla.
So Elon Musk and Grimes, which is the mother of his child, his newborn child, legal name for son revealed in birth certificate. So they recently had a child, and they named their child XAEA12. That's the child's name.
What? XAEA12?
XAE.
Rally's a
A12.
teacher. What would you call
Yeah.
the kid?
Well, Ekis. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's XAA12 Musk.
So the unique moniker went viral, leading fans to question how it would be pronounced and if it was even legal. Thanks to the unveiling of the little one's birth certificate per TMZ, the singer and Tesla founder's son's name is officially on record in the state of California as XAEA12 Musk.
X, ven pa' acá. Traerme una beer, mijo. All right.
Oh my goodness.
What
Yeah.
the hell?
So due to California law, they had to remove the Roman numerals and put the number 12 instead.
Well, that guy, he's a billionaire, right? Multi-billionaire. He's got SpaceX.
Right.
He is a smart guy. I mean, like kind of alien almost, too.
Right. I mean, look, when you get to a point where you've got money, you've got fame, you've got the ability, things like that become like your norm, right? Like
Yeah.
the crazy becomes your norm. I think Raymond was touching about it when he came on. When you're celebrities, like you have access and you have the ability to get anything you want. And so coming up with a name like that's not the weirdest name. I mean, I'm sure it's the weirdest name, but it's not the only name that would be like, huh? I forget some of the other celebrities' kids'
Yeah.
names
Well-
that we've heard. But I'm sure he can petition for a name change when he gets to be that age,
And what was his name again?
It's well, actually, so let me get into this real quick. It says the family law attorney David Glass previously told People magazine that while the original name was technically legal, California only accepts the use of the 26 letters in the English alphabet for baby names. According to the outlet, the new mom, Grimes, previously took to Twitter and explained the X represents the unknown variable, quote unquote, and AE, my 11 spelling of AI, which is love and or artificial intelligence.
Ooh.
Maybe he's an artificial intelligence baby.
No.
I don't know.
not even real, dude.
Transhumanism.
And so what's his name
For
again?
sure
His
got
full
a
name?
microchip in him.
His full name is it's XAEA12.
Junior.
Plus.
A rato va a haber un Junior, no?
But they said they would call him XI.
XI?
Short EX-EYE. XI. I don't know.
Crazy.
Why torture the poor kid
She's gonna
like
get beat
that?
up in
I
school.
know. Why torture the poor kid like that?
Well, it's better
My
than
goodness.
Panfilo, or
Well, I mean,
You know.
that's better.
right? What are your kids' names, man?
Oh my God.
Hey, le está pegando lo que me pegó a mí
No,
ahorita.
no, I say that only because it's long, right? We're talking about
okay.
crazy names.
okay.
My first one's
Z.
ZWX.
5G. I know.
Rene, Sebastián, Rafael, Flores.
Órale.
I love
Alright.
I love Sebastian.
And the second one is Roman, Santiago, Rafael, Flores.
Wow.
Some pretty names.
And how did you all decide to name them like 3 names like that? Or
Well, we wanted so my wife, I wanted Rene, right? I'm the 3rd generation Rene in my family. My wife was very resistant to calling her son Rene just because she didn't want the confusion. She didn't want, she thought that was enough, right? That, you know.
Con uno tenemos, mijo.
Right.
Right before she was going to have birth, somewhere my dad calls her and he kind of goes and explains like he never thought that her son would be able to have a child, that you don't know how much this means to me, and the fact that he's a boy, because I was the only boy, right? So I was the last one to carry on the Flores last name.
Yeah.
My sister, my youngest sister, had a son and named him Rene, right? Rene Hilario, right? So, there was like, well, my wife was like, they're going to confuse him and things like that. So, it took my dad's phone call, probably about 2 weeks before she's like, look, I'd really appreciate it if, he had my name, and, she wasn't about to deny him that. So we ended up, with the Rene, but we call him Sebastian. I wanted Rene again for Roman, but she was like, I'm done. I'm not even entertaining another Rene.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So those are my kids' names. And in the middle, the Rafael is an archangel. We wanted, a soldier, somebody that represented an archangel to and I forget the history behind that. You're catching me off guard. You're really going to make me look bad in front of my wife. But the archangel Rafael has a significance for her, and so we wanted them to both have that middle name. So, How
old are your kids?
My oldest just turned 5.
Okay.
And my youngest is 2.
Tan chiquitos.
Wow. I got a long ways to go.
Yeah,
I'm still
dude.
working hard. I still have to work hard.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
And I'm happy to report that last time I was here, my son was going to have a procedure.
Yes.
Everything went well.
That's
He's-
awesome.
Praise the
At
Lord.
home.
Praise the
Awesome.
Lord. Amen.
Awesome.
He's doing
Awesome.
well.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's awesome. And that was Felicia's celebrity headline. And now we've got a word from our sponsor, a little testimonial. Check it out.
About 3 years ago, I was set at a $300,000 bond for 3 crimes. From one day to another, I went from being, a coach, knowing a lot of parents, people around the whole PSJ area, McAllen, Edinburgh, around the whole valley. From one day to another, I lost all of that. I went to jail for 21 days, and my family met Mr. Flores, and he helped us out. He helped me out to reduce my bond from $300,000 to $50,000. I was back at home, and I went to court for about a year. But Mr. Flores would always tell me, I got it. I would call him all the time, like I'd be freaking out. Mr. Flores, 2, 3 in the morning, I'd call Mr. Flores, and Mr. Flores would answer my phone calls. And he'd be like, hey bro, like, chill out. It's gonna be all right. Just leave it up to me. I don't know what he saw in me that he believed that, what I was telling him. And, little by little, the things started coming out. I recommend Mr. Flores because he doesn't see you as money. He saw me as a family member or as a brother or as, so he treats you like with heart. And nowadays, that's, especially in that world, that's very hard to find.
commercial makes me like kind of want to cry, dude.
I know. I get
I
chills.
love that commercial. I love that guy. I mean, it's awesome. Like I said, when you have a client like that, and years later, he's still as appreciative as he was the day that we got his cases dismissed. And he mentions, I don't know what I saw in him, but I remember like just watching him, and I felt like I gotta help this guy. Like I don't care what it is. Like I could see it in his eyes. He was telling me the truth. I could see that he was really desperate and didn't have anybody. Like I'm sure he had his family, but he didn't. He was looking for somebody to defend him in this case, and so.
And when your life is hanging on the balance like that,
I mean, I was everything. I was everything to him at that moment. His saving grace, and so, I mean that's 3 years ago, 4 years ago. However long that is, and to the day he still shares every one of my posts. His comment there. He's there if I needed him to come and help me. Whatever, he's still there. Salomon Reyes, super awesome guy.
Wow.
Big fan, big supporter. So I love
great.
him. His family's all great. His mom.
Was his court here in the Rio Grande Valley?
It was.
Yeah.
It was in the 92nd
How long did it
District
take?
Court.
How long did everything take? And I mean, what was the process of all that?
So I want to say I was appointed to him, right? I think I got appointed to him back when I was doing court-appointed work, and I get appointed to him. He's got a super high bond, and been in jail. He's telling me, look, I don't know what I got him wrapped up with this girl. She's accusing me of all these things. And my bond is, there's no way I can afford this bond. So I filed these reductions. I made these arguments, and the judge, was able to, put on some testimony. The judge was able to reduce his bond. He's out on bail. Now he's fighting the charge from the outside. Now he's able to, it was a long kind of drama with his girlfriend, but he was able to show me the proof that he, some of the stuff that he was telling me. We were able to show it to the DA's office, and after, providing all these documents, we were able to get his case dismissed. The victim was uncooperative, not wanting to show up to court. And so that kind of tended to give the DA an indication that maybe some of the things that she was saying wasn't true. And so we got our cases dismissed. So it initially took about a year and a half before we were done with this case. But, again, throughout the whole process, he's calling me. He's telling me this is happening. Because, it's an estranged relationship. They were going back. They were separating. They were going back. They were separating. And so they would have these little things. He'd call me, hey, look, things just went bad and things, whatever. I was like, just calm down, leave her alone. And you are that for your clients. You're their counsel. You pep them up. You get them, thinking straight, because, a lot of times they feel alone in this situation. They've never been through this situation, and so, man, I was so happy. I'm happy that I got to represent him. I'm happy things turned out, and he's been a very loyal friend, follower, supporter. I appreciate him and all the good things that he talks about me in the office. So thank you, Solomon.
Well, that is awesome, man. And, what happens, because I think there's a lot of times that happens. People are accused of something and they're innocent. And some people can put other people through a lot of crap, bro. And there's no repercussions for that person that, throws that accusation. And then it ends up being dismissed. And
there hardly ever is. I think we're biased to some degree when it comes to women victims, children victims. And I believe there's not enough checks. There's not enough scrutiny that is placed on these people that are reporting, right? A lot of times it's just one word, right? There's no supporting evidence. There's no conversing with other witnesses or talking to other people. An officer sees this girl, she seems distraught, and I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm sure there are real victims of domestic abuse. I'm sure I know there are people who are abusing children.
But the people that lie about it are the people that hurt the real causes, I mean, it's kind of tough, man. I mean, and that poor guy.
We end up having to fight our way out of these cases. I'm having to fight my client's innocence as opposed to having the state prove his guilt. I find myself having to prove my client's innocence in these type of cases where they involve women as victims, children as victims. I've actually stopped taking, sexual assault cases, children against crimes against children. But that's just my personal preference. It's just too hard on that. I've had 2 trials where, my clients were accused of sexual acts of, children and ex-girlfriends and stuff like that. And it really plays an emotional toll on me,
I
my
could imagine.
family. You don't eat. And I don't know, I take a lot of it home with me. And so I said, look, these are the type of cases that are really tough on me and my health. So I'll stick to my DWIs, my drug cases and things like that. So, but I have people that I definitely want to connect. If that's your situation, if that's your story, still call me, because I have a network of attorneys that I like to recommend that are great attorneys that just happen to deal with these cases. And so I'd like to be the person to connect you to that if that's the case. But call me. We'll talk about your case. I definitely want to give you some answers. I definitely want to give you a roadmap that you can follow, so that the more information you have, the more better decisions you can make.
Yeah, Rene Flores. That's his. What's the number to call, Rene?
956-316-1991. That's the office. After hours, it rings to my cell phone. So, if you want to talk to me after 5, you're going to get me.
And do we have any comments? Anybody? If you have any questions for Rene, he's an attorney.
They were just asking for his number.
Okay.
So no specific questions on that, but they were asking for the number. So.
And he'll also represent people out of town as well. I mean, he's representing a friend of mine in Texas City.
Yeah.
So he'll go anywhere in the United States, I would imagine, to defend any drug type of, because a lot of Valley people go upstate and they get busted up there, and then they need some help, some representation. And I would imagine they would probably feel a lot better having somebody from their hometown representing them instead of somebody from that area. So once again, the law offices of Rene A. Flores. You can find them. Your website is
www.reneaflores.com.
There you go. And you can call them at
956-316-1991. I'm located at 403 North Conway in Mission, Texas.
And you can find them on social media, Instagram, the DWI guy, hashtag DWI expert, and on Facebook at Law Office of Rene Flores.
I do want to say, last time I recognized my wife, and I do want to set a shout out, but I also want to recognize my staff, Melanie, Abel, Noemi. They're the people that really support me. They're what make the office, what it is. And so I'm but one person. They're the staff, and they help me a lot. So I do want to give them a lot of credit. They're super awesome. And they have the same dedication, the same attitude towards our clients as I do. And so that's why I think we have a great team. And so if you do have any issues, if you have any questions regarding any legal problems you may have, give us a call. We'll get you in the right direction.
Man, it's awesome to have you here, man, with us, bro. And I appreciate everything you've done for us. And
pleasure, man.
We met a while back, few years back, man. De volada se pasa el tiempo, no, bro?
It is, man.
Because your wife was pregnant back then.
I remember that.
And she was pregnant when we met, and then we went and took a photo shoot. I used some of the pictures on social media today, and we're part of because he represented or sponsored my band. We do a toy drive, a toy concert every year in November, and he was the main sponsor, and we did a fantastic job, raised some toys, and we went and delivered them personally to all the kids from the Edinburgh Housing Authority, and it's something that we do every year. So this guy, he's part of the community, he gives back, and he defends you, and he'll help you out if you need anything. You just give him a call or contact him. And if you have any questions you might want answered right now, just go ahead, because we've got our producer girl, Rally. She's looking at all the comments. Is there anything there, bro?
NEVNO 2002 says, Rock, ask the cost to hire the man. So I would say just call him, and you guys
tough.
can,
It's tough to put a price on different things.
Someone's asking, how about representation in Las Vegas?
Ooh,
yeah, I'd love to
call him.
Take me
call
out
him.
of there.
Yeah, just go ahead and call him or send him a message on his social media, and he'll get back to you.
And I want to bring up, you say, thanks for being, but I've truly am drawn to the things you do. You as a person, you've got a great energy about you. And so from the jump, I think I've sensed that vibe, and so I've just wanted to be a part of anything you're doing, because I know you're doing it right. I know you do it for the right reasons. Like I said, I'm happy to be a part of this show, and again, I'm honored just to be part of and connected with you, bro.
Orale, man. That's awesome, man. I'm truly blessed to have met you, man. And you've been a blessing to us, and you've helped us out. And, we got your back. You got our back. And that's the way it is, man, right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Rene Flores. Hey, don't forget, Thursday we got the Rock and Chaz show. And on Saturday night, we have the Saturday night party. Reminder to join our Patreon club. At $25 pledge gets you a special hashtag PBT t-shirt and stickers. And you have the chance at winning in our hashtag PBT weekly drawing. We didn't do one Saturday for prizes. So we're gonna do one tonight with Rene before he leaves, right? And then we have the Cash App. It's $$ Rock and Roll James and Venmo at Rock and Roll James. Am I going too fast, Fishy? Sorry about that. I gotta take it a little slower.
No, it's okay.
It's all right. You can still do them a little after I'm saying.
She's a pro.
I'm
She's
just
a pro.
I'll just go at 100 miles an hour. Okay, now we got 5 questions with Rene Flores. I just don't know where the hell I left the questions.
Uh-oh.
Do you have them over there?
I got you.
Okay, can we bring them over here? Because I don't like to put them there, Rene, because you're gonna see them, and I don't know you're gonna prepare your answer.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you for the questions ahead of time, but I figured there was some.
Yeah, there's no discovery here, bro. All right, that's attorney talk, verdad?
Yeah.
All right, so did we put the graphic already or no? 5 #PBTs, 5 questions with Rene A. Flores. All right. Question number 1. What would you have been if you wouldn't have become a lawyer?
You know, I had this on my mind the other day because I was thinking, you know, I became a lawyer because of the people that I was surrounded, right? At the time, you know, when I was ready to look for a career, all the people that around me were lawyers, judges, you know, that was a profession. But I could remember my earliest memory of what I wanted to do was I wanted to design cars. I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to go to A&M because I knew they had a great engineering program. But I wanted to design cool cars, and I wanted the car to have my initial, something associated with me that I could say, that's a car I designed.
Bien Elon Musk acá. A rato sale con el chavalo XYZ.
Pi.
Isn't that a geometry thing or
I
something?
think so. It sounds like it.
I used to hate that class. I'd
Y
get hungry
equals
for
MX
pie.
plus B.
I'd get hungry for pie every time we talked about that problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I think I'd be an engineer. Coach. I liked coaching. I like the idea of teaching others and helping others. So I definitely had coaching on my thing.
Baseball,
Yeah.
football, what?
Football.
Football?
Yeah, football.
Órale, es todo. I like football.
Both my sisters are teachers, and they really tell that I'm really impacted by the stories that they bring home about their children and how they've
Educators, man. Yeah.
enriched their lives.
And it's
been
tough,
wonderful.
dude. I mean, sometimes I see some of my older teachers and I beg them for forgiveness because, man, I was bad. But, you know, my wife, she's an educator, and she says I have ADHD. And, well, back then they didn't have any meds for me, dude, to calm me down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
The chancla.
I received the Board of Education many times. The first time I ever got spanked in school, you'll never guess what grade it was.
3rd.
Nope.
First.
First.
You knew?
No, I just guessed. I mean,
Oh, dear.
First grade. Mrs. Guajardo. Shout out to Mrs. Guajardo.
Oh, my goodness.
She spanked me with one of those little paddles that have the little rubber ball and the ball with the string.
Oh,
What
my
do they call it? The
goodness.
paddle ball, right?
Oh,
Is
the
that what?
paddle ball.
Yeah, without the ball, that's what she paddled
In
me.
first grade?
In first grade, de
Ay.
volá caí yo, carnal. Sústame. And I remember in 3rd grade, I got 10 licks, dude.
10?
Yeah.
And your mom was okay with that? Or
Well,
back
I don't
then?
think she knew about it, but
Well, they didn't have to approve it.
well,
back
there was
then,
this
right?
girl named Nancy Hill in my class.
I forgot how you remember every single
Well,
album
I
names.
mean, I would think you would remember 10 licks,
yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah, you're right.
So we did our definitions, right? And then so she asked me for my definitions, and there were 10 definitions before lunch. So I lent them to her so she could do them, so she could copy me.
Oh, you're so sweet.
You know, and then when we came back, she was like, "Where are my definitions?" You go, "I don't know. I don't have them." So I didn't have my definitions to turn in, so they gave me 10 licks. Mrs. Elizondo, I remember that, Miss Elizondo. She gave me 10 licks
Maybe we
in
can
front
sue
of
her
the
for
class,
emotional
man. In front of the class. And then I was like, it brought like made my eye watery, right?
I know.
And I was walking back to my class, to my desk all pissed off. And my friend Bobby Aguilar was like,
How mean. I know.
Pinche Bobby. Salud pa Bobby Aguilar.
That's terrible.
I had some rascals in my class, man. Bobby Aguilar, Ronnie Adame, who's a Shareland coach, and Bernie Cosme, I mean, we were a bunch of rascals, man.
High school's different in that during those times. You could smoke in school. No?
Oh yeah. I was in Harlingen High School. I went there for a little bit because I went to like 3 different high schools, and in Harlingen they had no dress code, long hair, shorts, chanclas, and then they had a smoking area for the students, and everybody'd hang out there in between during lunch or in between, playing hacky sack, smoking cigarettes, giving each other illegal stuff too. You know what I mean? But it was crazy, man. Back in the day, and there was no closed campus. You can walk to the Sonic or wherever and eat or go home.
Yeah.
And
just show up for attendance. We just need that attendance.
Yeah. Yeah. School was so much cooler back then, I think. Now it's very confined.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because
so many laws.
Yeah, and then all the
so
school
many
shootings and stuff like that. I mean, those things that was just changed the entire dynamic of schools,
And security and safety and all of that.
Yeah. So, all right. So, a teacher, or a coach, or
engineer,
an Elon Musk. All right. Question number 2. What music do you put on when you want to get pumped, dude?
Oh, I listen to a lot of rap.
I have to
confess, I listen to a lot of rap. So,
I love that.
I'm usually jamming, some sort of hip hop song on the radio. So I'm listening to Bad Bunny, that type of genre.
Yeah.
So if it's not rap, it's
Post Malone. You like
Post Malone?
El rock star.
Yeah.
He's got a song that they're like playing over and over again on the radio. I forgot what's Rise or something, or Rising. I don't know.
Circles, I think.
Circles is the one.
Circles, is that it? Is that
Circles
it?
is the hit right now.
All right. What were your favorite television shows when you were growing up?
Like, what's growing up? Like, give me an age.
Well, teenager, I guess, or when did you watch TV the most when you were growing up? Between 10, right? 10 and 12, 10 and 16,
13, maybe.
right?
I watched a lot of movies, so I would watch.
Well, like TV show, but like TV show, like
TV
Saved by
shows?
the Bell, or
Family Matters.
Family Urkel.
Yeah, that's Family Matters.
Yeah, that's Family Matters. Órale.
What would I listen
What
to?
year were you going? What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 1995.
Oh, 95. Entonces, pues era Saved by the Bell. No, Power Rangers. Those Power Rangers. Oh, He-Man. The Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin.
I mean, I remember Saturdays, like as if you're talking about shows that I would remember watching, things like that. Those would be like cartoons when I'd wake up and on Saturdays.
I know which one you like, bro.
All right.
Topanga.
I like
Boy Meets World.
I really like that. I like that show.
Yeah. Boy, because
I wouldn't say that I grew up watching it, but it was a show that I enjoyed watching.
Well, if you graduated in 95, then the shows that really had an impact for you probably from 85 to 90, right?
Right.
So what was going on around that?
But I had an older sister, right? So I was always trying to do what her friends were doing, right? And when they were in rap, break dancing, I was that annoying brother in the back trying to break dance. And so, I remember my sister would write down words to songs, right? Because the lyrics, she would want to, and so I got into writing down lyrics and stuff like that. So I remember listening to a lot of music. First CD I ever bought was Vanilla Ice. I remember
Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah, Ice Ice Baby. I remember that. But I remember I spent a lot of time writing out lyrics to songs because I wanted to sing them. I wanted to know them.
MC Hammer.
Hey,
OPP. You down with OPP? Hey, you know me. Did you ever get into the NWA?
Not really. None of that.
How about Nothing But a G Thing?
Listen to that. Yeah.
The Death Row Records, right? Death Row Records. That was badass.
I think I get more music. I was into a lot of sports, when I was young. So we were outside a lot. Those were the times where mom would say, go outside and don't come back in until
until dinner's ready.
Yeah, we would be out all.
So then no specific TV show, just one maybe. Was it David Letterman or? That's why I'm an old dude, man. I'm 55, 54.
I mean, I couldn't.
Just one show, HBO. When was Sopranos? Was that in the 90s? No, right?
No.
Anybody talking about any shows.
Friends.
Donnie and Marie.
That is-
Friends.
I'm a little bit country.
Friends. I was gonna say that.
I like
Friends.
Friends.
Orale,
I got
yeah.
into watching Friends. I bought their box sets and stuff like that.
Orale,
I
okay, well,
got into
Friends.
watching Friends.
That was one of the more popular. And then Seinfeld. When was that?
Yeah, Seinfeld.
Was also.
Yeah, it was around that time. I
I think they stopped about the 90s.
Okay. All right. All right. Number 4. What movie can you watch over and over again and not get tired?
300.
300. Orale.
Ooh, that one's a good one.
300.
All right. What subject should be taught in school but isn't?
What school? High school?
Yeah.
Financing. Like, I think we have that, but some sort of financing type of like how the world works. And I know I did home ec. I think they taught us how to balance books and things, checkbooks and stuff like that. But educating about how
Retirement.
yes,
Teaching people about retiring,
saving, stock markets, how that works, and how you could take a little here and it'll make it work. Like that, if knowing that, I think at a younger age, it's something that I want to teach my kids. And look, this money that you put in here, you know, it can grow, and you will be amazed at what you do if you just allow it to.
IRAs, or what do they call
like
it?
investments, investing.
Yeah, investing.
Yeah, like 403bs, 401ks, how all that works. Like insurances, life insurances, stuff like that.
That may be a little complicated, but just
Yeah.
general investment type of, or like, I don't know if my kids are going to go to college, and not because I don't want them, but I don't know that the degree that they'll end up getting at the end of college will be a degree that will actually pay the rent or pay the mortgage on somebody. So I'm open to trying to find out these new niche, right? This new market, because we are in a different era of economy, or the way we're moving our economy. It's all digital, and it's all codes, and it's all apps, and so unless the schools begin to divert their attentions to this type of market or this types of areas of entrepreneurship, and start sparking that, I think the education that we know growing up is gonna be, I said, useless. I don't want to say useless because that's such a strong word, but it will not have the value. It's like, when people had to have like a college, high school diploma wasn't, good enough. Now I don't think a college degree is at that. Now you're either having to get a master's or doctor's in a particular area just to be able to make the type of income that you need. But while you can have some gentleman that comes up with an app, an idea, a process, and they're millionaires.
Yeah.
In a couple of months. And so opening up a child's mind at a ripe age, I think
Technology.
You could stimulate that person to really harness unlock the potential that he may have. And so I'm looking for schools to be able to start educating. I know there's schools out there, they're different. I think like Bill Gates has a school, and there's other people that have that type of schooling, but I'd like it to become more mainstream, because I think that's the only way we're going to get trade schools. Those become, I think, much more important in these days. And so if you're asking what I would bring back, I'd bring back, trade schools and all those necessary.
Like auto mechanics, stuff
Well,
like that.
when we
right?
were kids, we had electrical trades, right? And then they had wood shop, and they would make you do, some wood, maybe build a picnic table and then sell it. And then they had mechanics also as well.
Yes, someone was saying auto mechanics.
Yeah.
On the comments.
And so, but now it's like, it's computers, it's technology. As far as currency, I mean, sometimes I wonder, like, how much longer do we have to have paper money?
Right.
I mean, you know what I was thinking the other day? That pretty soon we'll be able to go down to the supermarket and grab a thing and then just scan it with our phone, and it automatically gets paid. And then you just keep going, and then by the time you finish, and then you go and you just sack your stuff and you get the hell out of there, instead of going through that
Completely avoid the
self checkout
cash.
line. You're just as you're pushing the card, you grab it, and then you just do it with your phone, and your phone's paying it all of a sudden. You buy an account with HEB, you buy an account, and then you go there, and then you just use your card is connected to the account. And you just scan the freaking the code, right?
The barcode.
And then you just put it in your thing, and then you just keep going. Or you can be sacking it as you go along. And
That's kind of how curbside works, though. But I mean, someone else is doing all of that for you. So you just, you.
But I want to, I want to say something like that. What he's talking about already exists.
See?
If I'm not mistaken. It may be an Amazon store. Some. I want to say that it's already exists.
I've seen something on Amazon called Pantry. I don't know. It's probably that.
yeah.
I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Could be.
That's something separate though, because I know when I was trying to buy some stuff like for the home on Amazon,
Toilet paper.
yeah, I was actually trying to buy some soap, and in order to have the soap, to buy the soap, I needed to be part of Amazon Pantry, which is different. Like you can't be part of Amazon Prime; you got to be part of Amazon Pantry. So it's something different.
Wow. So is this just? I mean, I'm just thinking by the end of this decade, it's gonna be crazy.
I mean, when I send some money I've sent money to you electronically. I've sent money to my parents or my dad, electronically. So I think that's a very real thing.
And it'll all just be in your device. You don't have to carry cash. You don't have to just scan it and boom, you're done. Cryptocurrency and all that stuff is coming up. Bitcoins. Have you gotten involved in any of that stuff?
I have some Bitcoins working.
And how does that work or what?
I suppose I'd buy it, and then I just like the stock market goes up and down. It hasn't gone up in a long time. There was a big old buzz, when back in a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I bought some there, and it's kind of stayed the same. So
wow.
I
So
still
you
have
work
to-
the
I still have
stocks
to
and
work.
all that?
Yeah, I do. I have to. Watching my parents retire taught me a lot about what I needed to do for my retirement. I'm self-employed, so I had to make a decision for me to say, hey, I've got to set aside some money because I don't want to work forever. And so watching my parents retire and how they've been able to put away for years and
sustain,
invest, and now they've got it. So I'm following that, and again, I've learned a lot about the stock market, and I don't say I know everything, but I know that I need to be in it. Right? These are my hardest years that I can work the hardest, the times that I can invest the money now, and so. I'm definitely in the stock market. I'm definitely looking to.
How did it go when the coronavirus hit and the stock market just tanked, bro?
I was buying. That's the time to buy, right? Because I'm not trying to. I'm not retiring next week. I'm not retiring in a year from now.
What were you buying?
I'm playing the long game. I bought a lot of tech companies. VGT is a tech company that it's kind of a fund that holds a lot of the Googles, the Facebook. And so,
did you get any pharmaceuticals?
I did.
Yeah.
I've got them all listed.
Medicines, bro. I mean,
anything technology.
Technology and medicines. Yeah. All right, man. I've had a good time. Clorox.
Yeah.
Yeah, wipes.
Toilet paper.
Yeah.
Pfizer, yeah.
Hey, by the way, I saw on social media
my
today
goodness.
somebody said, "What's going on? The toilet
too.
paper's gone again."
Are you serious?
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Stock up.
Yeah, and
I did 2 months ago.
I asked my friend where in Donna, because he's from Donna, right? He goes, no, the Westgate HEB in Westlaco that was like totally empty of toilet paper according from what they were saying.
But didn't they learn the first time like we don't need toilet paper? I mean,
that's cuando
that's
andas cagado, necesitas toilet
you know
paper.
what?
that's
Con un
crazy.
wipey,
Yeah,
vámonos.
when we were kind of blowing it off and we are saying, no, it's okay. We don't need it. Well, when we needed it, we went and we said there's none.
Yeah.
So we learned, and so we stocked up a little bit.
And we're not buying because we're scared. We're buying because they're buying it all up.
I know,
You know?
that's exactly why.
So it's nothing like, all right. So don't forget Thursday, Rockin' Chaz, and Saturday night party on Saturday night. And then a reminder to join our Patreon club. $25 pledge gets you a special hashtag PVT t-shirt and sticker. And even if you don't pledge $25, if it's $9, we still send you some stuff, man, because we like to send our fans and our supporters something for the show, from the show, okay? And we're going to draw a prize in just a bit. In a Cash App, it's $ Rock and Roll James, and Venmo, it's at Rock and Roll James. So there you go if you want to help us out. So let's see what name Rene will be pulling out for our Patreons. We're going to be sending them a koozie. And, okay, let me throw those in there. We put them in a bag because we traveled to San Antonio and we didn't want them to get lost. So we're going to throw all the names in here. And Rene's going to do the honors. Rene Flores, the law office of Rene A. Flores. And the winner is Daniel Martinez. All right, Daniel.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Tripas from Midland, somewhere on that area. So he's been a big supporter of us. He bought a Harley off of Ronnie, I think, at the Harley Davidson.
Oh, okay, cool.
So he's one of our pledges, and I appreciate that. Daniel, you're the winner. We're going to send you a koozie, and we'll throw in some extra stuff. I'll throw in one of those CDs if I got one, all right, from the Clica Classics. But we appreciate you. Rene Flores, man, it's awesome having you here, bro.
Thank you
And
so much.
you will be returning to the show because we always have a good time with you, man. And I'll change up the questions again.
Yeah, I promise. I love coming back. Thank you for having me. Thank you, ladies, for putting the show together. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thanks for all the listeners. Thank you for all the support and love you show us. Continue to support this man. He's got big things in his future.
And once again, if you need him, the law offices of Rene Flores. You can find him on Instagram at DWI Guy or at DWI Expert. And you can also find him on social media, the law office of Rene Flores. And the law firm website is?
ReneAFlores.com. The number is 956-316-1991.
That's right. And he will have your back 110%. Let's play that spot one more time. Can we play that spot one more time before we leave?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
About 3 years ago, I was set at a $300,000 bond for 3 crimes. From one day to another, I went from being, a coach, knowing a lot of parents, people around the whole PSJ area, McAllen, Edinburgh, around the whole valley. From one day to another, I lost all of that. I went to jail for 21 days, and my family met Mr. Flores, and he helped us out. He helped me out to reduce my bond from $300,000 to $50,000. I was back at home, and I went to court for about a year. But Mr. Flores would always tell me, I got it. I would call him all the time, like I'd be freaking out. Mr. Flores, 2, 3 in the morning, I'd call Mr. Flores, and Mr. Flores would answer my phone calls, and he'd be like, hey bro, like, chill out. It's gonna be all right. Just leave it up to me. I don't know what he saw in me, that he believed that, what I was telling him, and, little by little, the things started coming out. I recommend Mr. Flores because he doesn't see you as money. He saw me as a family member or as a brother or as, so he treats you like with heart. And nowadays, that's, especially in that world, that's very hard to find.